Recording in progress.
Okay, here we go. Now, I haven't seen this yet, guys. As you know, I've been preoccupied. So I'm going to go find this. We're
I
talking
think I
about. Did you send it?
I sent it. It was in the Squadcast Media, our group chat, a
Okay.
text,
Um.
because it's from the Titans official account.
Okay. Yep, I see
Yes,
it.
yes, it is. Yep.
Okay. So I haven't seen this yet. So, and then we're going to talk about Titans season 3. So I'm going to watch it real quick. I know you guys have seen it, but
Yeah, I think I might pop it in just to remind
there's a
myself.
trailer tomorrow. But that's not it. Okay, hold on. Apparently, I didn't get it.
Yeah, there was one from Discussing Film that Brent sent, and there's one that I sent from DC Titans on Max.
Okay, yeah, it's not showing me the preview, but here it is.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Here we go. I'm gonna watch. It's 45 seconds. I'm gonna watch.
Yes,
it real quick.
45 seconds. Yes.
Yep.
I still like him as Robin.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, he's gonna get crowbarred, isn't
Yeah,
he?
he
Yes,
is.
yes, that's exactly
Yes.
what I tweeted. Yes. Yes.
City breeds a special class of criminal.
Oh,
There he is.
There's the crowbar.
There's the crowbar. Oh, wait,
Mhm.
wait, wait. And there. It gets delivered to Wayne Manor.
What did I just see? What happened? What did I miss?
Okay, when you see Ian Glenn as Bruce Wayne,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
staring down and the camera pans down. The crowbar's on the floor of Wayne Manor.
Okay, I
Totally.
totally missed that. Let me
Yep.
see this part.
Mhm. And that was a question. That
Oh,
was
wow. Oh,
that-
it is. I see it now. The crowbar.
that was a question that a number of people I know were having. Is like, okay, we know they're doing Red Hood, but how accurate is it going to be to the comic? And apparently,
I'd say fairly
pretty accurate.
Well, it
You know,
was
and it's-
interesting because I think at Fandom last year they indicated he wasn't going to get crowbarred, and I don't know if we all misinterpreted an answer or were they purposely misdirecting us, because I was watching that trailer going, son of a, he's going
I
to
mean,
get
it's
crowbarred.
definitely implied. This is probably a case where DC stepped in and said, no. We're trying to sell toys. Robin's got to get crowbarred.
We need crowbar action.
I mean, it's a crowbar action,
yes,
right?
Crowbar action. Yeah,
know,
no,
and that's the thing.
no tongue, just crowbar.
That's right. No tongue.
We
no
already had that
Catwoman.
conversation.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, didn't record it. Yeah.
we should have recorded that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So are they going to stick the landing in season 3? That's what I want.
That's
the question.
That is literally, and so many people, I saw people tweeting like, please be good, please be good. And I'm like, guys, the seasons have been good.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
finales have been awful.
Right.
Like literally both finales for season 1 and 2, terrible. Seasons were great. I have no doubt that season 3 of Titans is going to be fantastic. But can they finally, in an 0-2 count, know that they're going to strike out at this point? They've got one strike left on the count, guys. They're 0-2. They're 0-2. Can they finally get a hit?
And here's
On
the
that
thing, because
season
I would say
season-
go ahead.
the season's going to have what they've always had, which is kind of these two storylines. Because if you think about season 1, you had the main thing was Raven's story trying to get away from Trigon, and you kind of had like the Hawk and Dove stuff, and the Jason Todd stuff.
Little bit of Dick and Corey.
Yeah,
A little bit of the Dick
Mhm.
Grayson and Corey, like their stuff together.
right. And then season 2, you had the Deathstroke storyline, and then you had what was the secondary storyline?
Well, there were, because there's stuff with Ravager.
Superboy.
No,
Superboy.
Superboy was really the big one, yeah. But there was also the stuff with Ravager and Jason for a little
Mhm.
bit, and like,
I consider that part of the Deathstroke storyline. Technically,
yeah, no, that's true. It is, yeah. But
it was
but
really Superboy. It was really sort of Deathstroke and then Superboy. And so this season you're going to have Red Hood, but then also Blackfire.
well, and on top of that, like with, I don't know if you read the article that they were talking about Vincent Kartheiser, who's playing Crane.
Crane, yeah.
And they're saying that apparently it's going to be like Hannibal Lecter style, where someone else has broken out of Arkham and he's actually like going to be advising them on how to catch this person while still instilling his own brand of psychological fears and doubts. into whoever he's dealing with. So it's going to be a slightly different version of Crane than what we've seen in live action at this point. But like, even that's going to be, and that's just the fact that this season is in Gotham, that
Yeah.
they've moved from San Francisco and they're going to be, oh, that's the other big thing we saw in the first image
Of
of
Barbara.
in the wheelchair. And I guess
She's commissioner.
she's commissioner and she's adopted, this is further on in the article, she's adopted this perspective of thinking that like the superhero vigilante formula is outdated
Mhm.
and that it robs the power away from the people to actually defend themselves. And so she's going to be at odds and kind of conflicted when Dick shows up to like rekindle things.
And you know what? And since you've never seen Batman Beyond, there spoiler alert. I mean, spoiler for something that happens in like the first episode, but Barbara's the commissioner in Batman Beyond.
I think I knew that. I
Um,
knew that.
So that perspective, she's very much like, you know, with Terry as Batman, she's very much like, kid, you watch. No, she very much has kind of that, been there, done that, got the scars.
Yeah, well,
watch
and
it.
And I think the article also indicated that too, is that there's definitely going to be some scarring for the both of them, Dick and Barbara, in terms of dealing with what Bruce and Jim did for years and like how that affects them going forward in terms of operating in Gotham and doing their thing in this
And
season.
other people have pointed out, if you go back and look at that trailer, the shot when we actually see Red Hood and he's got the gun, and then there's another scene of guys around a pool table shooting their guns, and there's a duffel bag on the pool table, and a lot of people have made that connection to that scene from the Under the Red Hood animated movie when Red Hood throws the duffel bag of heads, you know, when he's like, I'm in charge, like basically when he kind of starts the plot of becoming like the criminal, you know, gang lord of Gotham. So some have thought that those quick cuts indicate that we're going to get a live action interpretation of that scene.
Yeah, please do that. You know, and that's the thing too, like for as much as like DC gets all paranoid about like, you know, the way some of their IP has been you know, betrayed and all that, the thing is like they're still going to sell toys. They're still going to like they can still have their Brave and the Bold cartoons and the Batmobile show and all that. Like all that stuff is still fine. You can still have all that. But I'm going to tell you right now, the stories that have been the most memorable, you know, like the Killing Joke and the Dark Knight Returns and Year One and obviously the death of Robin. I mean, these are the things that have lasted a long time. And these are like substantial stories in the lore of Batman. And just embrace these things. Like, don't tiptoe around the whole thing about what happened to Robin. I mean, it's that's like when we've talked about this before. It's like, you know, I've always said like, you know, I want Curran to get the crowbar, you know, because like I want that storyline explored. And it looks like based on this tease, it looks like they're doing it. And I hope they don't. I hope it's just not a tease, and then it's like they tiptoe around it. Like I hope they actually do it.
I imagine Curran Walters is kind of feeling the same way that Simone Missick felt in the middle of Luke Cage and the Defenders. She said that because Simone Missick, for people that don't know, played Misty Knight in the Netflix Marvel shows. And she said that once her character was introduced in the show, she had so many fans that were just waiting for her arm to get chopped off. Because in the comics, that's what happens. She loses an arm, and I think it's Stark that like gives her the
Robo arm, yeah.
Right, the Robo arm, right. And so for a good year or two, there were just a ton of fans really hoping that she would lose an arm, which she did in Defenders.
Yeah.
And then Iron Fist season 2, she didn't get the arm from Stark, she got it from Danny Rand. So it was a little different there. But even there, that's like so they went more kind of classic with the route on that. And I gotta feel that Curran Walters is probably dealing with the same situation where, he tweeted it.
He tweeted it. He didn't just. We're not just going to do Vero. We're actually going to tweet the thing. Yes.
Okay. Well, here. Let me just say that Curran Walters is probably dealing with a similar situation where so many people have just want him to get crowbarred. Like the second that he showed up, it's like so many people are wishing that for him, and it looks like. I mean, hopefully, here's what I'm hoping. I don't know how many. I don't think they confirmed how many episodes it's going to be for this season yet. But I'm hoping that what we see with the crowbar happens within the first episode or two. so that you can really get have more time to, because you don't need to establish Jason anymore. He's fully established in this universe through the first 2 seasons. Get the crowbar shit out of the way, and just you can spend the entire rest of the time setting up Red Hood and do all the Under the Red Hood stuff, which I've seen that movie. I've seen the animated Under the Red Hood
Which
movie,
is
so I
one
know
of
the
my
scene you're talking about.
favorites. One of my favorite. Oh, okay. Question though: is it possible that he gets crowbarred, but he doesn't get killed? Like he just
Possibly.
gets
I think
the
he just-
absolute shit beat out of him.
Yeah, I think that's very possible, and maybe it's not the whole brought back to life kind of thing. It's
Lazarus
just like,
Pit, all
yeah,
that
yeah,
stuff.
you could take all that stuff out. I would have no problem with that if it's just a matter of like he's messed up in the head now because he took a crowbar to the head, and he becomes Red Hood. Like, fine, it's still you're still the same storyline, other than the detail about how he came back.
There is a part of me that really hopes that the show that originally ruffled a lot of feathers with Robin saying "fuck Batman," and is now on a streaming service, and is it going to be a Max original, so you don't have network rules. I just
You're talking about
just
the
go all
same
the way.
You're talking about the same streaming service that is Doom Patrol.
Right.
Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol.
We had
Exactly.
the orgasm episode, which was awesome.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
what-
They went further in season
I know.
2.
They did.
Yeah.
They did, and it was hilarious. And I
Yeah.
loved the orgasm episode, and I also love the episode where they went further, the Sex Patrol episode. Yes.
Oh my god, it's the Sex Men.
It's-
I mean,
That's literally the title of the episode, Sex Patrol.
Yeah.
And for good reason. So yeah, I would personally, Tim, I hear what you're saying. And if they go that route, it won't bother me. But I just go all the way.
Well,
Just
I
go all
think-
the way with it.
well, here's what I'm not saying don't kill Jason for censorship reasons. I'm talking about the fact that we don't know how long the episode run is, and just the convoluted nature of killing him. How are you going to bring him back to make him? Because let's remember, in the comics, literally he got brought back because Superboy Prime punched a continuity wall. Like
They're not doing that, obviously. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, the animated movie was able to go back and do because Judd Winnick, who wrote Under the Hood, wrote the script for the animated movie, and even he was able to go back and simplify it and say, let's not worry about Superboy Prime punching a continuity wall because we're leading into Infinite Crisis. Let's just have them throw the body in the Lazarus Pit from the get-go. Like, because I don't know, have you read Under the Red Hood, the book?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so Superboy Prime punches through the bubble of the pocket universe they're in. Jason comes back as like some half-dead zombie, and then he gets found by the Al Ghouls and gets thrown into the Lazarus Pit to kind of restore him. Like, that's how convoluted the comic story was.
Yeah.
The animated movie did a great job of completely simplifying that, which the New 52 just said, let's do that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's forget punching a continuity wall. So, and I'm wondering if because of the less time, we just, unless we do a time jump would allow that to happen. But otherwise, we might just have to do he gets the utter shit beat out of him with a crowbar, and then that drives him to become the Red Hood, because he's already kind of dealing with the sense of betrayal from what happened with Ravager and everything else at the end of season 2.
I know some people that it would bother them if they went that route. Like I said, it wouldn't bother me. And because again, when you talk about live action from comic books, liberties have to be taken, because you're not doing convoluted stuff like the Superboy Prime punch in live action. It is very unreasonable to expect that level of like accuracy with respect to live action, because remember, fans don't want to hear this, but it is the absolute truth. Anytime we bring up a live action interpretation, this is not just for you. This is for anybody else that they're trying to get HBO Max. Like, stay as this. There is a general audience component for this. You cannot give them convolution.
And Titans has been popular with general audience. Doom Patrol, like my brother-in-law and his husband, like Doom Patrol is what got them to subscribe. Like, that was a subscription seller for them, was Doom
Well,
Patrol.
they're both going into their third season. So yeah, clearly the general audience has been, you don't get multiple seasons just from fans. You just don't, because there aren't enough of us. So yeah, there's clearly a general audience component and attention that is being grabbed with this. So that's why, like you said, Scott, the simplified reasoning totally makes sense if they go that route where it just drives him mad, or
Because-
maybe it might even disfigure him really badly and just, we already know he's messed up in the head already, like from the first two seasons.
Right.
This could just push him right over the edge.
Because once again, I'm trying to think about, because we got a Gotham storyline with Scarecrow. We've got Blackfire. We're going to have Red Hood. I mean, you start to feel like there's a little, like, I'm not saying it's an overstuffed season, but you got to dance. You have a dance
Definitely, because
to
when
work all that.
yeah, because when the season ended, we knew there were two things that we knew when season 2 ended. We knew that Donna was coming back, but that they were going to have to deal with that, and we knew that Blackfire was on Earth. So already right there, it's like, well, those are two storylines we've already got to worry about as is, and then they're going to add whatever else. You're right. There is definitely a concern in terms of how artful the balance is, and I'm sorry, as awesome as the seasons have been, it's because those landings haven't been stuck at all that does worry you a little
Mm-hmm.
with respect to the writer balance and also the producer balance. It's like this show, for as good as it has been, it still hasn't quite earned our trust in terms of story cohesion.
Wait, and okay, so go back to my biggest criticism of season 2. Yeah, obviously the finale, but it was like, for me, now once again, this is the subjective nature. What was my main focus on for season 2? Deathstroke.
Mhm.
What happens in the finale? He's freaking dispatched in the first 5 minutes,
Mhm.
and then the rest of the episode is about Mercy and Superboy
Mhm.
and
The Cadmus stuff.
the
Yeah.
Cadmus stuff. And I'm sitting here going, did you miss the memo about what the whole season was about?
Yeah. Well,
It
because
started off about Deathstroke.
right. Well, because there's even a point in the middle of the season where, the Cadmus stuff starts to take over the storyline, and we started spending long stretches of time and like whole episodes focused on that and completely forgetting all the Deathstroke stuff, which was really good to start the first 4 or 5 episodes of the season. So yeah, they've already shown us that they're not all that great, subjectively speaking, in terms of balancing all the storylines properly, even though it was still enjoyable over the season. Is it going to be another case where they feel like they're in a hurry and they do another mad dash to the finish line and they strike out on a third straight season finale? I really hope not. I am not rooting against them. I'm rooting
No,
for them to
that's the point. We want them to succeed because we've
Yes.
enjoyed everything. Like, even the season 1 finale, I didn't have the criticisms that like you guys had on DCTV Squadcast. I was kind of okay with it. However, the payoff of what became the season 2 premiere retroactively makes me go back and look at the finale, and especially when you start to see the images from the scrapped finale,
yeah,
which I'm sitting here going, when does that get released?
that's a big problem with season 1, because like our biggest complaint about it was essentially the fact that the season 1 finale was actually the season 1 penultimate episode,
Mhm.
and the season 2 premiere was actually the season 1 finale. That was our problem
Mhm.
on DCTV with that. But then you're right, when you go back into, so you already don't like that happened, and then you go back and see what the original plans were, and you see those images and you're like, okay, we already hated how you changed this, and now we're wondering how much better your original plan was if you had just stuck to it.
Mhm.
Which,
like Doom Patrol being in the episode, and they all had costumes, and you're
Right.
like, what happened?
right, especially those of us that have went on to enjoy Doom Patrol and we love the portrayals of those characters. It's like, what are you doing here? Again, just not trusting their plan, which is that's a problem. That
Gotta
is a
trust the
problem.
plan. Gotta trust the plan. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, I guess shame on me again.
No, it's
So
no,
we'll-
it's fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times.
no, I know. I'm just saying, basically, this is the third. They get one more chance at it,
Mhm.
basically. So
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's an interesting question.
Mhm.
Okay, guys, cards on the table. They screw up a third finale. Where are you at?
I mean, I'll still watch it. I mean, I like these characters. I like the show. It's just like, come on, close the
y-
deal. That's like this should be one of the things. Like this should be the first thing they figure out when they're writing a season and planning out a season. Is like, how are we going to close off our final episode and the penultimate episode? Like that should be the biggest priority. Is figure that part out, and then figure out all the storylines leading up to that. Like you have to know that you have that part right, and they
Yeah.
haven't up to this point. They haven't had it right. And I don't
Yeah.
know how much of it is because of like we don't know what kind of interference they were having because you got to remember these things were constructed for DC, universe, which they had grand plans, and then we knew once the whole AT&T thing was happening, all that stuff just basically kind of got cut, and so who knows what kind of interference that we had coming from management at the time. So like that's why I'm saying like we'll give them a chance this season. There shouldn't be any of those excuses whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, when Titans first premiered, HBO Max didn't exist.
Right.
DC Universe was it,
Yeah.
and that's how it was for the first 2 years, and then we all knew once HBO Max came on the scene, we're like, it's only a matter of time. Like
Mhm.
what we thought was going to happen in terms of the migration is exactly what happened,
Mhm.
and that's what
Right.
we're about. That's what we're about to launch into here. This will be the first Max original seasons for these shows coming up.
Yeah.
I don't have. I'm not one of those people that has like the really strong opinions. Like if they screw up a third finale, I'm done with the show. No, I'm not. No,
I'm not.
I'm not.
Come on, guys.
That's
Just get it, get it
and
right.
well, right. So really, Scott, it's just going to be a question of, am I happy and do I give him an attaboy for finally sticking the season 3 finale, or do I just go into when someone asks me how's Titans, is my descriptor great season, horrible finales, and I'll just expect every finale after that to be
To
horrible.
suck.
Right. Like I won't even like no delusions, right? And I've already, because like the magnifying glass is out because it screwed us over twice. If it happens a third time, well, then I'm just going to expect they don't know how to close the deal. And I'll just be like, well, the seasons are great, but the finales are awful. Just settle in for that.
Yeah. All right. You guys wanna record the crow?
Caw-caw. Oh. Yes.
Yeah, let's why don't we go ahead and we'll put this on Patreon. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Yeah,
Cool.
I wish we would have had the Batman going down on Catwoman part recorded. Like the
And then there was the toxic fandom discussion.
total failure on our
Yeah,
part.
there were two other really awesome discussions. One of which was spontaneous because one we were just like didn't hit the button, and then the other one was concerned about where it was going, but it didn't go in that direction. It went in a better direction. So yeah, it is what it is.
Oh well, yeah, we definitely should have recorded it. Cat did not have our tongues on those topics.
No.
DC doesn't want any cat to
No.
have its tongue. No.
No, no cat should receive any tongue.
Heroes don't do
Don't
that.
do that.
Gotta sell toys.
I think many of our female listeners for sure would argue that with the phrase "heroes don't do that."
Oh, I'm still just wishing that, like, after all this, I really kind of wish that toy Chris was joking about on Batman Returns actually existed.
Oh yeah.
Because that toy would probably sell now.
it would be like going for like thousands of dollars on eBay right now.
Probably.
We need to ask Chris, where's that toy at? All right, let's record the crow. See you guys.
See you.
Later.
All right. So I'm gonna stop